I feel a little intimidated though that in this subject matter because you're a professor of
Oh yeah,
philosophy and I'm a dunce. I'm not a dunce,
yeah.
but
You absolutely are not. But yeah, um,
within the area of philosophy, I'm way undergunned.
Phails at philosophy.
Or
and I think that's part of what I find interesting about the dynamic. It's a similar kind of dynamic I have with my students, where on one hand I'm trying to take my expertise and help introduce them to that subject matter, but on another hand I'm trying to not do that in a way that makes them feel like I'm the expert in the room, because that's not going to be like I've got a semester with them. Most of those students are not going to study philosophy formally ever again,
yeah, that's
right?
it.
And that, so for that kind of like mentor mentee expert kind of transmission model of education, which has some value, right? But that's really good for a kind of long-term process of developing high levels of
You're
expertise.
more a tour guide.
Right.
Here's the
Here's
giraffes.
a tour guide, and
Think about why they have long necks.
right, and but you got to do it in a way that's not just the zoo, right? Here's all these cute things to see. Now go home and never worry about it again, right? But the tour guide that also says, here are the things that you need to know to find your way in the future again, right? It's more like you're the person introducing someone to the city for the first time. You want to give them a view of the city. You don't want them to feel completely overwhelmed and lost in that city, but you want them to understand that they could get lost and how to avoid getting lost best,
And with how to
that they can find their way better in the future.
how to think about wayfinding.
Right, exactly.
How would you? Oh, well, you got 35 is the north south
Right.
main road, and Mopac is another one, and 183. So if you hit one of those are our north south,
Right.
and if you want to, our east west ones are, you've got Cesar Chavez. We got the river. Whenever you have a city with a river,
You
it's
got
a
river,
wonderful.
yeah, it's got a good point of reference.
And then you kind of have 183, which is another kind of point of reference, and
And as John Ailey says, the secret to being happy in Austin is to never get on I-35. Or John Ailey said. 'Cause
yeah, don't get on I-35.
don't get on I-35. There's just no reason to. The only reason to do that is to go to Round Rock, and there's really no reason to go to Round Rock.
We love you,
We love you, Round Rock.
Round Rock.
Not trashing Round Rock. Great
It's just
parks.
jokes. It's just jokes. I'll follow that joke with you never go south of the river because those people are not humans.
Oh, you mean, man, it's funny. I recently was arranging a meeting with a colleague who lives south of the river, and we're always meeting up here. And I'm just like, let me come, let's meet down there. And
No, don't meet down there.
there's almost this like,
Well, you definitely don't have to take a bath if you go down there.
so I have
Just
this.
trash pandas that live down there.
I have this like need to try to go meet people who live south of the river, because I used to live, like when I moved here, I lived in South Austin,
Yeah. How far south?
McKinney Falls Parkway, like that. Like,
That's not South
like-
Austin. That's like
was-
McKinney Falls over there by McKinney Falls, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of a different whole area.
But it's still, yeah.
it's still south of the river.
But the
though.
reality was that all my friends who lived north of the river wouldn't cross the river to come see me. And
Yeah.
it was just so obvious and so clear that, yeah, I now, as someone who lives north of the river and who I go south of the river infrequently enough that every time I go south of the river, I'm like, holy shit, this place has changed, right? Which is, because north of the river has changed in plenty, but it's just that I'm in it. So
Disclaimer. We love you.
South Austin.
We love you, South Austin people. We know you're not trash pandas. We will shower before we come and visit you. And also, Round Rock, we see you up there. We acknowledge your presence. We know that you're beautiful people.
Should we just go around and like trash every part of Austin that isn't North Central Austin? Like,
Yeah.
Like we thank you, Round Rock. You are not Pflugerville.
Thank you for not being Georgetown.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. So all that to say is like, yeah, I like hanging out and talking with you.
I mean, I think that's the interpersonal part. Like,
Yeah.
from an interpersonal perspective, it's like this seems to be a helpful vehicle for deepening this relationship and getting to know. Were you about to say something?
No, I was just like, I was thinking about our audience. Like, audience is also an audience that's interested in the voyeuristic act of watching people have interpersonal conversations with each other.
And deepening their relationship.
Right.